Today is a totally normal review of this Modernia figure. It's a very special one because it's made better than this one, which is the first release of her. So if you play Nikke, Goddess of Victory, then you know everything, and I don't need to tell you nothing. Anyway, this is 1/12 scale. This is made by Snail Shell. Snail Shell, they make high quality figures, and they don't always do these types. They do some stuff that's just, you know, normal. The one thing you can trust with Snail Shell is that it's going to be high quality. So let's open this thing up and find out if this Ami Ami Snail Shell combo in Japanese specific packaging is worth owning. And it is. These things honestly are priced very fairly, usually like 40, 50, maybe 60 bucks depending on the figure. So it's like, how can you say that the value's not there when the price is great? Well, because maybe you're buying from a US based company like Big Bad Toy Store or something, and you pay too much. We have two tiers of things. We have a stand, which is pretty standard for them. Plus we have a couple wrist pegs, which is nice. Then we have all the figure and eye tool, all kinds of stuff. But first we have to look at the very most important part of this whole thing, and that's the instructions, so that we know how to do it properly. And that is, here's the stuff, there's the things, and there's the other things. There's more stuff, and there's the final thing. Let's move on. Also, historically with Snail Shell, there's been a lot of stuff that has been swappable between figures. So if you have other Snail Shell things, there's a pretty good chance that something like the head or the faceplate or the body parts could be used somewhere else. All right, so far, this is wild. There are some parts that are already things we've seen in the past on other figures, which is fine. I mean, you make a leg, you can use that leg again. Why wouldn't you? This is way better already than the Hyper Body version, which is like the full model kit pre-built thing from Good Smile. It's just crazy. It's just crazy how this isn't good. This is gonna be her redemption that she deserves, I think. We'll find out. I don't know. I mean, who can own this? Sound off in the comments if this is something you do own, will own, or can own. So up first, we have the base that we've seen plenty of times with Snail Shell figures. It's a great stand. It's got great levels of articulation, alternate claw arms, and then depending on the figure, you can use this thing, which will generally plug into the back of the character, which is great. So then you get a claw-free look while still holding the character. These are the wrist pegs we talked about. They look like wrist pegs. Who cares? This is one of the best features of any figures, in my opinion, is the eye adjustable tool. So when you take an alternate faceplate, or any of the faceplates, you look on the back, you can put this thing in there and move the eyeballs around, which is honestly a great feature that a lot of companies really should consider. We've got a pretty good amount of accessories. Generally, not a lot of faceplates with Snail Shell, but they gave us 2 this time, so I appreciate that. Let's zoom in and take a look at all of the details, because some of these details, hello, are for a very specific type of person. We have this, which is her over-the-shoulder cannon. Look at the details. It even has the warning labels on it. Like, the paint here is really, really well done. I mean, it's Snail Shell. I'm not really surprised that it's this nice, but goodness sakes, to put the warning labels in, paint all of those cables and stuff, this is so good. I don't know if anything moves on this thing, so let's kind of figure that out, because it looks like these should, and based on her other body design, no. But the back section does extend out like so. So you get a couple different layouts for that. I mean, it's super basic, but at least it does it, which is nice. And then, and that's it. Now, on the bottom of it is the hole, so that you can take that alternate piece that we saw that sometimes you can plug into the back of the figure and plug it into this. So now you can have this as it should be, not physically attached to her, but just kind of hovering over her shoulder, and you'll have to use, ideally, the other accessory part, which we will look at, that some of you are maybe like rewinding and going back to look at already. Here's a sneak peek. Was that enough for you? Up next, we have a little doll, which is adorable. And, you know, 1/12 scale toys that have 1/12 scale for them toys. So, like, what is that? 1/24 scale toys? Is that how math works, or would it be less than that? Or more than 140? I don't know. I don't know how math works when you're talking about scaling things, but I do know that I love tiny little adorable things. Now, this is also a very safe review. Despite this very sheer top, there's nothing to look at. We have very basic hands. I don't think we've seen these before. They kind of look similar to some other Snail Shell hands, but these also look unique. These are just kind of like open palmed. These are gonna be great for holding the little dolly like that. I love you, she said that. The faceplate that is on by default looks fantastic. In classic Snail Shell fashion, you have really nice subtle paintwork around the cheeks and the eyes and stuff that just gives it a lot more life for being, you know, just a tiny little toy. This is a toy, so it's okay, it's fine. The hair looks awesome. I love the paintwork here. This is definitely on par for them with all like the gradients and everything, so really nice to see all that. We're definitely not gonna have a lot of range with the head because of the hair, but at least it looks good, I guess. It's a pretty standard snail shell design for the face, so I'm sure we could swap things around if you wanted to put other faces on here, other eye colors and things. You could definitely swap the heads over because they use the same joint, but there just might be a difference on height, so we'll check that out as well. This is the alternate face, which is just honestly kind of a little sad face. Don't you want to console her and make her not so sad? And with the third faceplate, we are super sad, and it's even more obvious if you remove the hair. Unfortunately, this is one of those where like the hair covers up the eyebrows, so you don't get to see all of the differences. See how sad she is with the shape of the eyebrow versus the faceplate we just saw, which is basically the same exact thing, just a difference of the eyebrows, and then the original faceplate, which looks like that. So you can't really tell the difference between those sad faces, so it would have been nice to have something else. Just anything else. Alternate hands in the box, we have these kind of gripping ones, which, I mean, it's fine. I just don't know really what she's gonna grip. Maybe like a leg or something of this, like that. It's at least the options are there if you want to use her for other stuff, but she doesn't have anything that she can physically hold in her hand because this doesn't have handles. This is a floating thing. And finally, she's got a pair of fists for just knocking your lights out. So this is fine. I mean, the sleeves have little magnets in them. That's crazy. Very nice to see that. Even the magnets I think I knew were there. But anyway, the hands. So we have little fists for punching or celebrating or whatever. There you go. She's excited. So the top has magnets in the sleeves. That was a fun thing to learn. Now, this figure is going to be a great base body as well for like custom stuff. So you could find 1/12 scale clothing or buy some from somebody like Tots Action Figures and put that stuff on here and have like just the best version of whatever figure you want. You can do head swaps, things like that. And because it is a snail shell thing, you could swap everything around. You can turn one of your other figures into an alternate version with soft goods. It's just, anyway, this is a great price for something that you can do a lot of customizing with. That's why we bought it. Now, she does have one more accessory, this one, so we'll look at it here in a second, but we have to look at the figure as it is now before we start taking her apart. Oh, almost forgot. We have other accessories right there. See those? Whatever, she's casual. This is her day off. On by default, just these standard options, which are flat, look fine. The sculpt is pretty wild, but they don't have a lot of paint like we've seen with some of the other ones in the past. But not that I have them. And the alternate ones are these, which are just kind of arched heels a little bit, like for whatever you want them for. Without going crazy on those, let's look at the articulation as it is by default before we swap out the lower body. So we have looking down is great, honestly. Looking up is non-existent because the hair. The side to side is fine. So pretty decent, all things considered, with the hair that long. And then the arms go out perfectly. We have rotation up there at the shoulder. Oops. It is a snail shell, and this is pretty common for them to be able to come apart. Like, they're very, I don't know, intentionally modular, but they essentially are. So you just have to deal with these shoulders. There's like a little tiny disc to help cover up joints, but then they go into the shoulders. They can pop out because there's no butterfly joint. Look, this is totally fine. There's nothing here. This is a non-thing. But the arms have pretty good range. It's just like all the snail shells. Rotation to bicep, we have these double jointed elbows, and then a standard ball peg for the wrist. Torso, so there's not really any crunch. I'm actually a bit surprised, or am I? I can't remember if that's normal or not. That doesn't lean forward at all. Leans back a bit, and then there's some movement, rotation there. Nothing crazy, nothing at the waist. It's because it's all just like a solid body. And then we have these L-shaped joints in the legs, which can get a little wild, like they get all funky sometimes, but it gives it a lot more range. You just have to really mess with them sometimes. So kicks forward, splits no problem. You got thigh rotation, double jointed knees, standard ankle joints. So from here, we have to disassemble her and then take this alternate accessory, which it's wild. This is wild to have this fully sculpted. So now it's like kind of a statue. I just would have preferred replacement legs like the Alice had, because then it's pretty normal. It probably costs less because you could just swap these joints out like that and then have whatever poses you want. You could have, you know, swap legs, or you could do whatever. But but now you have this seamless design and a sculpt for the lower half of the body, which for some people is what it's all about. Crazy level of detail on this thing. Oh my god. Okay, it's probably good they don't normally have statues. So once you swap that over, you have her in her battle action pose. Or maybe she's just doing whatever, you know, whatever. She's just cleaning around the house or something. Anyway, you would essentially put her together like this, and then you have this over the shoulder with the stand, and now she's protecting everybody with her gun. Who's buying this for the gun? Everybody. Everybody bought it for this because of the incredible details and the accuracy to the game, because it does this. Oop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. The interesting thing here is that doesn't sit very well like this. It's very easy to lean to fall forward. Well, anyway, there you have it, folks. I hope that you enjoyed this and you want to see some more Nikke figures get reviewed, then click the top link there. That's Alice. It's very, very good from Figma. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.